Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports for today's preview as the Springboks look to try and win their first match against Australia in Australia since 2013 as the Boks with a pretty strong team named look to try and sort of get over that sort of curse being able to be Australia and very much try and put themselves as one of the leading candidates to try and win the 2022 Rugby Championship. Currently sitting third on the log, 1 point behind Australia and Argentina. So, for example, if they were to do a miracle and get a bonus point victory against Australia, would probably be sitting at the least sort of 1 or 2 points behind the lead. But we would imagine a bonus point victory would probably be good enough to at least put South Africa into either second or there and thereabouts. But it's a very decent Australian side being named, although I think that there are certain aspects where the Springboks, if they can get it right, can sort of really get at the Wallabies. However, Dave Rennie has welcomed back a number of his stars and made a couple of changes, 6 changes to his side that lost to Argentina quite heavily in Argentina just 2 weeks ago. Before we go through the lineups, please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. We'll start with the home side, which is Australia. And as I said, 6 changes being made by Dave Rennie. A lot of them are injury returns. So first up in the front row, James Slipper will captain the side as he makes his 120th appearance in an Australian shirt. Folau Fainga is also back from injury and packs down next to Alan Alatoa, who also missed the last test. So very much incredible amount of experience in that front row. Alan Alatoa has got, I think it's like 60, 70 tests to his name. Folau Fainga is a very good player as well. So the front row battle should be very good. To begin with. And those two will be back, well, those three rather will be backed up by the likes of Rory Arnold and Matt Phillip, who'll be looking to try and nullify Evan Etzebeth and Lourdes Diaga. And then it's a pretty inexperienced loose trio in Jed Holloway, Fraser McWright, and Rob Valentini. Fraser McWright, very good over the ball. Jed Holloway, also a very nice, exciting player, but very little experience between the two. Rob Valentini, for me, probably one of the biggest players that the Springboks need to try and nullify and one of the danger man of this Australian side. Very physical player, very good ball carrier, and always sort of tends to put the Wallabies on the front foot and get over the gain line. So stopping him will go a long way towards nullifying this Wallabies pack. And I think the battle of the packs will be obviously probably very much where the game is won and lost from a foundation point of view. Nick White has a new fly half partner in Noah Lolesio, who comes back into the side. James O'Connor has been axed from the squad after he started at fly half in that horrendous loss against Argentina. As a result, Bernard Foley has been called up to the squad but does not make the final 23. So Lolesio being named at 10 there. Marikai Koroibete will be the danger man, the number 11 jersey. Hunter Basami is back from injury as well and starts inside center. He has Lane Iketal outside him. Tom Wright shifts from fullback to the wing. The youngster had an opportunity to run on a fullback, but has been shifted to the wing to bring in Reece Hodge, the experienced Reece Hodge, and very importantly, the very aerially adept Reece Hodge. Australia know that South Africa are going to bring a very kicking-orientated game this weekend from a tactical point of view, and having somebody who's so good under the high ball like Reece Hodge will go a long way towards coping with that. Off the bench, David Parecki is also back from injury and is in a 16 jersey. Scott Sear, Tanela Tupou bringing, I think it's over 100 caps between the two. Tanela Tupou should be a very interesting battle between him and Stephen Kitsoff in the latter stages of the game from a scrum perspective, but very much a very good ball carrier. He's got an immense speed for the size he is, very physical character. You then got Darcy Swain, Rob Liotta, Pete Samu, who complete a bit of a bomb squad type 6-2 split in an attempt to try and really go toe-to-toe with the Springbok pack. Australia have decided to go with a 6-2 split. Pete Samu is quite an impressive player. I think Rob Liotta still got quite a way to go. Darcy Swain is a very reliable character. You then got Tate McDermott and Andrew Kellaway. Andrew Kellaway returning from injury. Tate McDermott, a very exciting young player. But I do think that, the likes of Lolesio, McDermott are players who, if they get put under a lot of pressure, can sometimes struggle to cope with that. So that's definitely a potential avenue for Springboks to try and exploit. This is the Springboks side that we're looking to try and make those sort of players feel the pressure. Up front, Oxenchair, Jos Dwyer, Francois Herbert. So it's an unchanged front row. In fact, it's an unchanged pack from the side that lost to New Zealand 2 weeks ago. Evan Etzebeth, Lourdes Diaga, Sia Khaleesi, Pierce Toy, and Dwayne Vermeulen. The big sort of names under pressure there are Dwayne Vermeulen, Oxenchair, Joseph Dwyer, who were all hooked in the first half against New Zealand. Oxenchair, I think, was a little bit quiet by his standards. Dwayne Vermeulen very much looking like he still needs to work up some match fitness. So hopefully another 2 weeks of training under his belt, he'll look a lot sharper this weekend. And then Joseph Dwyer, very much a player under pressure who has had glimpses. We've seen glimpses of exactly what he can do, but has really struggled to do it consistently in his 3 tests so far. You then got Faf de Klerk, who's back in the side, partnering Andre Pollard. Faf de Klerk was a big miss across those 2 games against New Zealand from a defensive point of view. And I think especially, in that second test, I think we would have been defensively a lot more sound with the rush defense that Faf de Klerk does bring. And not to say Jane Henderson wasn't very good, especially in the first test, but a very different type of player, brings very different attributes to the game than Faf de Klerk. Andre Pollard looking much more solid in the last couple of games, so I hope he continues that form. Marcus Oloma, Pimpy, Damon Dealendi, Lukanya will all be hoping that they can continue in their position, especially the likes of the centres who have had to shift around quite a lot lately with early replacements. Warwick Lunt will be the next person to get an opportunity in the number 14 jersey. He is the 4th different player. In fact, I think he's the 4th different player who's actually worn that number 14 jersey for South Africa. We've seen Colby, we've seen Aronson, we've seen Jesse Creel. All 3 of those players unavailable. As a result, Warwick Lunt will get an opportunity at 14. Damian Willemse will continue at 15. Malcolm Mark, Stephen Kitshoff, Vincent Koch will be the reserve front row. Franco Mostert, Kwagga Smith, the only other 2 forwards as the Springboks have reverted back to a 5-3 orthodox split. Jane Henderson, Alton Yankees, France Steyn are the reserve backline players. Alton Yankees, France Steyn bringing about 120 caps between them, I think it is, or something like that. It's a very a lot of experience coming in the form of those 2 players. But both those players are under a little bit of pressure in terms of proving their worth to the Boks moving forward and into the World Cup. So it should be quite an interesting game. As I said, a lot of question marks over the fitness of certain players, especially the older players. Whether they still have what it takes to play at this level. It's a decent Australian side. We are playing at Adelaide Oval. Kickoff is at 7:30 South African Standard Time, or 3 o'clock if you are in Australia. You can watch the match for free on ExpressVPN on 9Now, which is a free-to-air channel. So link in the description as well. Go and check it out, and that's how you can watch the game. Let me know your score predictions down in the comments below. Please do smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven. I'll chat to you soon.